So the exhaust system's all done. It was a bit of an adventure, a lot of work in it. Before we have a look at it, I'll just show you a couple of things that we had to modify up here because of those shock towers that we fitted that weren't there before. This intercooler pipe, both the pipes coming out of the bottom intercooler had to be modified because they were in the path of where the shock towers have to be. So just some mild remaking of them, nothing too bad. It's a little bit annoying, but you get that. If something's not there, you can't avoid it. So always remember that if you're taking something in to get fabricated, you can't fabricate around something that doesn't exist. So that's all done. Let's throw this up in the air and see how the internet likes my exhaust. Twin pipes. We haven't got a joiner in between them. That's the way we figured it might work. We did have a listen to it before without the tailpipes on it, and it sounded pretty good, so hopefully it'll come out nice, otherwise I'll have to redo it.
Well, I think it sounded awesome.
Yeah, it was reasonable.
And
a lot better than before.
It looks a lot better now, I think, too. Stainless.
A bit shinier. Got to replace these two clamps here. They're just temporary until I'm just going to get some T-bolt clamps, which clamping this on is about the only good thing you can do with a T-bolt clamp.
You don't like T-bolts, do you?
No, they're useless for intercooler pipes. But they work good for that sort of thing, so I'm just using these ones temporarily.
I noticed there was a little heat shield over this side too for the fuel line.
That's
protection.
That was requested by the engineer for the fuel exit out of the tank, just to keep the radiant heat away from it. So I threw one of them in. That's just bashed up in a vise setup. Does the job very nicely.
And the mounts you're using too. Snazzy Toyota 86 mounts also?
That was something that was holding some tank in the back of this thing when it got here.
Oh, that...
I just reused them.
The surge tank.
Yeah, one of them. One of the tanks that was in the back. So they're actually exhaust mounts. The thing with these type of exhaust mounts is they're only meant to have compression load on them. So if you get something like that and put it on its side and use it as a mount, it will they don't handle it and they just shear eventually. It doesn't happen straight away, but they are meant to be mounted in this fashion. Something to keep in mind. Usually makes it a little bit more work when you do mount them like that, because you've got to make a pair of brackets to hold them, but it's got to be done. So up the back I've just got these sort of old generic sort of things that they used to use on old vehicles.
It's like XY Falcon spec.
I think that's what it is. I got them off Old Cock, so it's fit for purpose, so it'll do the job. And I haven't welded that sort of zinc stuff onto the stainless steel pipe, because that's just ends up looking grubby, so I'm just clamping them, which works perfectly fine.
Oh, the mount where you clamped.
Yeah, that zinc coloured, goldy coloured mount. That's just, yeah, normally you would probably just blast that on with a MIG on a mild steel exhaust, but we don't really want to do that with the stainless. Sort of makes it a bit messy.
While we're underneath here, Al, there was some comments referring to the transcooler getting bashed into with rocks and mud. Would you like to clarify your positioning?
It's exactly the same height as it would be if it was on the front of the car where they normally are. So if it's going to get mud and water and stuff on it here, it's going to get mud and water and stuff on it there as well. And you're probably going to get mud and water inside the car too, because the car's open. Maybe
to note that it's not Nathan's bush basher either.
This car isn't a hardcore four-wheel drive. It's just meant to be a cool car. He's got other cars, four-wheel drives, that he uses that for.
I think beach fishing was the #1 priority for him. Beach fishing with the family.
Yeah, okay. Sounds appropriate. Where's he going to put the family? There's no seats.
I don't know.
They drive beside him in the good car.
You can tow them behind on boogie boards along the sand.
It's not the 70s, mate. We used to do that.
So what happens now then? What's left to do?
It's nearly done, eh? Well, our part of it anyway. I think we just got to throw the seats back in and make it usable. It's got no front drive shaft as yet because it's got to have this transfer case was a full-time four-wheel drive one, I think. And it's got to have a conversion kit put into it to change that. So he's just leaving the front shaft out of it for the moment. And then we'll get off for a touch-up tune because we've changed things like fuel pressure and idle control motor and that sort of thing. So it is sort of running a bit rich and carrying on a bit. The idle control needs some setting work done on it. It's a bit slow to activate. But otherwise, it's almost good to go. Finally.
Yeah, dog.
Can you put the wheels back on? Because I can't lift them.
We need like a hoist to lift the wheels on, I think.
It's ridiculous. Probably should put some nuts on the cross member.
No one else did.
Gearbox mount bolts.
Well, I know I didn't.
It's all right, I got these ones that I got off my Daihatsu build.
Spoilers. Nathan's 40 series has been off the road for about 9 years and has been through 6 different workshops since. Given that it's almost ready for the road, a quick check and top up of the driveline oils and a spanner check of all the suspension, steering and brake components is necessary. Luckily these were checked as the transfer case and front diff oil was empty. The front and rear differential U-bolts were all loose and almost all of the leaf spring shuckle bolts were only finger tight. Why are you changing sockets, homie?
Someone supplied 9 21mm headed and the rest 19mm headed.
Derp. With the wheels fitted and the car back on the ground, Nathan's spare parts bench is packed away into boxes and we start on refitting the seats back into the car. Hey, watch it.
Just doing the final fit up on the shifter and the handbrake lever. The shifter we mentioned about previously is just a Hurst shifter. It's just like a B&M, a Hurst version of a B&M shifter. I think I've mentioned before I use those because they tend to work better with Japanese autos just because of the way the park gate works. So that's in there. It was actually pretty straightforward. I used a bracket, like a lever bracket that came with the kit, and it was exactly the right length, and just sort of combined a couple of different brackets to make the anchor for it. It was probably the easiest, one of the easiest I've ever done for a Japanese auto, and it works pretty well. This handbrake, that was previously this part here, this well part, that was part of the handbrake assembly. I guess it's out of a later model LandCruiser. I don't know, like it would have had one that pulled out of the dash previously. So we needed to put that somewhere, and there was a hole here for a gear stick or something, whatever this plate was out of. So we needed to fill that up as well. So what I did was I ended up putting this sort of bucket for the handbrake inside and welding it on, and because it's a pressed shape like that, it had the effect of stiffening that whole thing up. So kind of killed two birds with one stone on that one. Just rerouted the cable. It sort of runs over the top of the transmission now and straight up through the floor. And it all works pretty well, so winning.
Man, you wouldn't want to be fussy with panel gaps, would you? That's done.
Looks fine to me, bro.
What's left now?
My favourite part is this.
Wasn't that upside down or something?
No, if you look inside, it's got northern hemisphere up and southern hemisphere up. It's different because
the world rotating, yeah. I get you. It's about time to put that crock buster on, isn't it?
we better put the giant bullroo crock bar on.
Have you got a crane to lift that thing on?
I've got a Woody.
A Woody with a broken back. Man, you'd probably gain horsepower just taking this thing off.
You think this will fit as good as everything else?
I think, should we leave it undone in true 40 series fashion?
Is it an option to do it up? I don't think they fit. You can access them easy enough. Oh no, those ones are all right.
Man, that like transforms the look of it, eh?
It also transforms how difficult it is to work on. So hopefully it won't break.
Very, very good point.
I don't even know if it moves yet.
Haven't you tested gears?
Oh, I put it into gear when it was on the hoist, but
So it could potentially have a broken gearbox.
you could have broken lots of things. Let's have a go.
You need like a Bundy rum hat on or something, I think.
I may not be the tallest man in the world, but this seems a little bit cramped.
So they're also optional? Should you not be revving your cold engine?
Cold, untuned.
Cold. Hey.
The brakes don't work very well.
It's like the Bedford. I reckon you'll make it.
The speedo works.
Hey?
The speedo works.
Yeah?
It's not the most accurate, but it works.
Yeah, you're good.
I can't.
Yeah, you're sweet.
Full lock, bro. That can't be right.
Nah, no way.
You couldn't even turn a corner on a highway like this.
Do it. There's a bit of axle tramp there.
Got axle tramp. It doesn't take much to spin. Never do burnouts in your untuned, freshly built car.
Those tyres smell real funky too.
They're about 47 years old.
The original tyres.
It's what it was built with. It does burn out.
The whole front of the car was about to fall off.
That's all.
That's all?
Must be time for a lemon squash.
I think it is. Thanks, homie.
Nice stubby cooler.
Oh, one-handed, like a boss. Jeez, man. Job done and dusted. There we have it. One running, driving, and axle tramping V12 twin turbo 40 series.
I think it needs some suspension work.
You should see the footage, man. That looks like, it honestly looked like you were about to hop out of the
I
car.
was in the car, dude. Well, almost not in the car.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't they build these things for drag racing?
Why didn't you do a bigger burnout than that?
Because the car was rattling to pieces. I could have. Wasn't even on boost.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Like, so it was only this much throttle too.
You did it right in reverse, actually, too. That looked alright. The driveway warranty is now voided because it left the shed, Nathan, so that's your problem now. Everything's been your problem since the start, actually. And yes, the windscreen does fold down. There's a few questions about that. There we are.
It's kind of cool.
It is cool, I reckon. You couldn't drive like this, though. There's no way. I remember I drove my Crusader with no windscreen once. That was the worst decision I ever made in my life. That was so hard to do.
You could just wear motocross
You could,
goggles.
but I'm not going to do that.
But then you'd get like, you know, bees in your mouth. And,
Yeah.
But it's good for when you're up trying to spot crocs.
When's a croc catching arm getting fitted?
I think that'll get done in Kingaroy.
Just Kingaroy things? So now, next up for this thing, it's going to get tuned. Squeeze a bit of power out of it, or not squeeze power out of it, because Alan's worried about it.
Unsqueeze power out of it.
Yeah.
I think I'll squeeze it and get some of the power back into the jar.
Just release some back.
Yeah.
Alan's a bit worried about
I'm a bit concerned about everything.
braking on this thing.
No. I think we'll just have turbos for coolness.
It's a Nathan problem, bro. So it's Instagram ready now then? We're done?
Remember, I was there when it was in a Subaru Liberty that handles good
Yeah.
and puts power to the ground.
True. You were also there when the 190E threw a rod out the block?
Yeah, I was. That was fun.
Alan also put one of these motors in a Mercedes-Benz 190E. But that was single turbo, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a terrible idea.
Says the guy that put one in a Liberty and a 40 Series.
It wasn't my idea. The Liberty was my idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all right.
Which you then followed to put a
no,
2JZ in.
no regrets.
Once this thing's back in the hands of Nathan, we're heading off to Claw, which is a...
Classic LandCruiser Association.
I was going to say Red Claw.
I don't know what the W's for. W.
Wheeling. That's American thing,
Anyway,
isn't
it's
it?
a classic Land Cruiser Association meetup, which is out the back of Warwick, which is a long way away from here.
Yeah, back to Warwick.
It's out near Az's place.
Nice.
Near Dunning-Kruger Motorsport headquarters.
Dunning-Kruger Rifle Range.
Yeah. So there'll be some other, heaps of other Land Cruisers like this there, and apparently there's some turbo LS ones.
Is there?
Yeah.
God dang.
Yeah, they're probably stupider than this.
I don't get it. It's the sickness with whatever car you're into.
Anyway, we did our thing. It actually works, and I'm stoked.
And that's done for today.
Now we,
Go to Lemon Squash.
you know what happens when we finished?
There's something else you got to fix
Yeah,
up.
I'm just like, get out!
Like the steering that doesn't work.
No, I don't have to fix any of that.
Why not?
It works. It just doesn't. You just
Take you like
have to take a lap around Australia to get
a
it
day to
to.
do a U-turn, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm done with it. So let's roll the next thing in.
Yeah, you keen? I gotta go on holidays. I gotta pick up my new car.
What do we do? That one. That one. That one. That one's pretty much done.
How about you do this one, and I'll go pick up my new car, because that won't take you very long to do.
No.
And by the time you do that, then I can come back and we can start on my car,
Yeah, cool.
if it's okay.
Yeah. Good
What
idea.
about the one that's around the corner though? When's that getting done?
Nah. It's too much work.
Car cover? No, don't. Thanks for watching.
Do you think the internet would exist without cats and poorly thought out opinions?
The YouTube comments wouldn't exist without that.
True.
What is it with cats? I don't get it.
I don't know. People on the internet like cats.
But like, I mean, I get having a pet cat, but why watching cats?
Maybe YouTube should be YouTube. Broadcast your cat.
YouTube. Broadcast your twin turbo V12 40 series. You right?
Oh, yeah, all right.
Using all the horsepower. Now you're gonna do a 50 point.